Jai Shri Ramachandra, Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Shri Lakshmi Narasimha. And glories to the great astrological savants who have spread this wonderful science across the universe, which is helping millions even today. So today I would like to talk about the election, and this is one of the mundane topics that I'm going to talk about today. And mundane astrology is actually enclosed in Samhita. So my dear friends, today we are going to discuss a very important topic for our nation, which is going to rule us for the next 5 years. And I should also tell you about the different things that are going to happen in the next few months in my other videos. But for now, let's concentrate on the election. So the election of 2019 is a very special event where, both the parties are really, really powerful. I mean the Congress and the BJP. Well, the people are inclined towards the BJP a little bit, whereas some people the Congress, so you're not very sure. So here I would like to give you some astrological insights about the election. And number 2, basically there are many different types of Jataka time issues of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and there's a lot of Jataka issues with Rahul Gandhi. But as a common thing, we know Narendra Modi is running through his Moon versus Mercury, and Rahul Gandhi is running, his Rahu Dasha is going to start on the day when the election begins. That's 11th of April. His Rahu Dasha is beginning at that time. So actually he'll be in his Sukshma Dasha of Jupiter when the election ends, but it's throughout. The main thing is Rahu. So today we're going to discuss about one of the very important topics, as I stated just before. And this election is important for us, and it's important for the astrologers to decide who is going to be the next Prime Minister. And one more thing is we are going to see a lot of new things after this, like wars or whatever is going to happen, because I do foresee a war in the next few months, that may be June or July. I do foresee a war at that time. So one important thing is the election, and the next Prime Minister is surely going to do something. So here I've filtered out every single other Prime Minister, so-called to be Prime Minister, and kept all the candidates, and kept this Rahul Gandhi and this Narendra Modi as 2 options. And I have completely studied the horoscopes of these 2 big politicians, and the second thing is that public opinion is that Narendra Modi would win. But let's see a few interesting things about both the horoscopes, and I shall make a separate video discussing about just the horoscopes and a comparison of the 2 after the election. And for now, I hope you have the horoscopes open, and let us study the horoscopes, and let me explain to you what I have researched about this. So to start off with, let's discuss about the horoscope of Narendra Modi. And Narendra Modi basically has Vrishchika Lagna and Vrishchika Rashi. So when we study Gochara, we know that Rashi or Chandra Sthita Rashi is the most important portion in deciding the effects of the Gochara. And Lagna is considered once in a while, but a person who has Lagna and the Rashi in the same place is generally supposed to have a very stronger effect of the Gochara, since it affects a sensitive point which is called Lagna, the ascendant, and the Chandrasthita Rashi. So both the points are affected by a particular transit. So it is very important to consider transits for such a person against a person who has just his Chandrasthita Rashi and his Lagna, totally different signs. So here we're going to see Narendra Modi's Vrishchika Rashi as the main pivot for all Gochara transit calculations. And here we would have actually at the beginning of the election, Mars is aspecting his Rashi by the 7th aspect, and Jupiter actually moves out of his sign till the 24th of April. So Jupiter is direct and then gets retrograde again. So basically he gets direct into Sagittarius and then retrogrades back into Scorpio. This phenomenon is very beautiful, and this actually means a lot to the election. So this is one of the main points that I'm going to discuss about today, that is the retrograde and the direct motion of Jupiter into 2 signs, that is Vrishchika Rashi and Dhanus Rashi. So the retrograde of Jupiter into these 2 signs, which happen to be the Janma Rashis of the 2 candidates, the 2 main candidates. Sagittarius is the Janma Rashi of Rahul Gandhi, and Scorpio is the Janma Rashi of Narendra Modi. So now Jupiter is moving through these signs moves into Rahul Gandhi's sign on April 10th and moves back into Narendra Modi's sign on April 24th. So this is a very important thing that is to be very important. It needs to be considered. And here, the second thing we have important in transits is Narendra Modi is running through Sadhe Sat and Rahul Gandhi is running through a very worse Sadhe Sat, which is combined with the powers of Ketu and Shani in the Janma Rashi. And along with that, to top it up, we have Mars aspecting Sagittarius with the influence of Rahu. So this is one very powerful Gemini's and Sagittarius axis that I will talk about in the future videos. But for now, we're talking about Narendra Modi's chart. And Narendra Modi's chart has a very good time now. That is, for some people it is Moon versus Mercury, and for some people it's Moon versus Ketu. So Moon versus Mercury actually is a good period for him, and even Moon versus Ketu is a good period. But one very important thing that I saw was that Moon versus Mercury is considering the 8th Lord. And there are two birth times that I've collected for Narendra Modi. One is something after 11 and something, and the other one is somewhere around 9. So these are two different times, and I was quite perplexed when I was checking the horoscopes. So I made one decision that I should take the one which is having more Raja Yogas, which is given a lot of position, and that was of course the time when the Lagna was in Vrishchika Rashi, and that was 11, sometime after 11. So 11 o'clock actually gives Vrishchika Rashi, and that gives a very powerful Raja Yoga with Mars and Mercury, Mars and Moon, and Moon being the Lord of the 9th is in the Lagna, and Mars being Lord of the Lagna is with the 9th Lord. So 9th and the Lagna Lord are together in the same place. And then we have the 10th Lord very fortified, 10th house very fortified, not the 10th Lord. 10th Lord is in a bad condition, but the 10th house is really fortified, and that is with Shani and Venus together in the 10th house. So this is one of the birth times I really considered. But to make the predictions correct, I also considered the Dasha of the previous chart. That was, if we had considered his Dasha to be, his birth time to be earlier, then we should also consider his Dasha to be earlier, and that is Moon versus Mercury. And here, of course, one very important point we're supposed to consider is Moon versus Mercury is not that good for Narendra Modi. Moon versus Ketu is good, because Ketu has gained power in the chart, very significant power. Just a second. So Moon versus Mercury actually gives a very powerful power of death inflicting Maraka power to the chart, because Mercury is the Lord of the 8th and the 11th, one of the most dangerous houses, and Ketu gets a lot of power by his conjunction with the Sun and with his dispositor, that is Mercury. And Mercury is also retrograde, that gives him a lot of power. The 8th Lord and the 11th Lord has significant power in this horoscope. So in case it is Moon and Mercury running, there is going to be defeat. But if it's Moon and Ketu running, then I feel that would really be good for his winning. But let's discuss some of the negative points of this period, which should be decisive to the future of India also. Moon and Ketu is actually causing Grahana Yoga over there. Ketu is causing Grahana Yoga. And Moon and Ketu together in one, Moon and Ketu are 3rd and 11th from each other. So that shows that he will gain a kingdom, but he will also cause a lot of trouble to India. And anyways, his Lagna and Rashi is Vrishchika, and Mars, the Lord of it, is present in the same sign, causing Chandra Mangala Yoga in Vrishchika Rashi, which show that a person is going to cause wars and is going to fight a lot in his terms. So this is one of the things which will happen if Narendra Modi becomes the Prime Minister. And one more thing we should consider over here is the opponent's chart. Now we're going to talk about one person who's been ridiculed for many years, of course, being a joker every time. That is Rahul Gandhi. But let's consider his little horoscope also. So his horoscope is actually, I feel, somewhat having a few Raja Yogas. People might just ridicule a person. But let's see a few things about his political person. Narendra Modi and everybody is a joker. First of all, we know about all of that. They're puppets, but still, let's see which puppet is going to win, because we don't know about that and people are curious to know that. So just to entertain and tell you about a few things that I researched about, today I'm going to talk about Rahul Gandhi's horoscope also, because it's very interesting for me to research on different horoscopes. So I'm just presenting this research in front of you people. And here Rahul Gandhi actually has Rahu as his main Raj Yoga Karaka in his chart. And just like Narendra Modi has Rahu in his 5th house, even Rahul Gandhi has Rahu in his 5th house. I mean, when I say Narendra Modi having Rahu in 5th house, I mean considering the second birth time, that is having Vrishchika Rashi. So basically Rahu is in a very powerful position in Rahul Gandhi's chart, and Rahu is in the 5th house. And one very important thing when you consider Rahu is that we have to consider his dispositor, his aspects and his relations to every single other planet who's related to him, and his conjunctions, PAC, position, aspect and conjunction. All of them have to be perfectly found out when you discuss about Rahu and Ketu, because Rahu and Ketu cannot be Yoga Karakas on their own completely. Their dispositors have to be well placed, or the dispositors should be causing a yoga. And now let's see that's the case here. Shani is Nicha in his horoscope, that is in Aries, but Shani forms a Nicha Bhanga Raj Yoga in his horoscope. So how I say a Nicha Bhanga Raj Yoga is, you can watch my video of Nicha Bhanga Raj Yogas on YouTube, and I had made it when I was very small. So Nicha Bhanga Raj Yogas actually mean that the dispositor should be in a Kendra from the moon or the Lagna, or the lord of the sign where the planet gets exalted should be in a Kendra from the Lagna or the moon. And let's see that, yeah, we can see all of these conditions are fulfilled. For example, the dispositor of Shani, that is Mars, no, we don't consider the dispositor of Shani, we consider the dispositor of Shani if it was exalted, and that would be Venus. And Venus is in the 10th from the Lagna and in the 4th from the debilitated planet, that is Saturn. So you have a very clear-cut Nicha Bhanga Raja Yoga in this horoscope. So the effects of this Nicha Bhanga Raja Yoga are transferred to Rahu also. And the second thing is that because Shani is giving the Nicha Bhanga Raja Yoga and aspecting the Lagna, and along with that we see various other indications that the Lagna and Jupiter are Vargottama. We see Mahabhagya Yoga in this horoscope. If my friends have just seen the horoscope properly, you'll find the Mahabhagya Yoga in this horoscope. That is Sun, Moon, the Lagna should be in odd signs, and Sun, Moon and Lagna should be in odd signs, and the time of birth should be daytime. It's there. So we have seen these indications in the horoscope, and we shall go forward to the dashas now. So in the dashas we have Rahul Gandhi is beginning his Rahu dasha on the day of election, if I'm right. That is 11th of April 2019. His Rahu dasha just begins on that day, and that is very decisive. I feel something strange is going to happen. My comments on the election are that something strange is going to happen, that is for sure, and we will have a very strange thing that has never happened will happen in this election, and the future of our country from this particular day, from the date of the new government, will be a dark time according to me. I shall explain that in my Rahu Ketu axis video. Then I'm going to talk about the 2019 special Rahu, Ketu, Saturn, Mars and various other planets axis that I'm going to talk about. So I feel there's going to be dark times ahead after this election, and the election is going to be very decisive to both political parties, and it means a lot. It's going to be very strange, of a very, very strange character. Both have equal Raja Yogas actually, so, but of course there is going to be something indifferent. It's going to be different. It's not going to be the same thing again, and it's not going to be prosperous for the country, this is for sure. And we will have a hard hit to India, or we will have wars going around. So there's going to be a lot of tension and stress in the next few months. And the election, according to me, is a really complex topic. And Rahu Dasha at this beginning is something very, very, very strange. just beginning Rahu Dasha for a person on the day when a person has a very important event is something that really strikes me a lot. And secondly is, I see that Narendra Modi also has a lot of Raja Yogas, and his his Dasha is also really powerful enough to give him a promotion. So that is Moon, Ketu and Sun are all together over there. So Moon, Ketu and just Sun. Just imagine the Ketu and Sun are in the 11th from the Moon, and the Moon is in the 3rd from them. And this 3rd 11th position, this Upachaya position, is really a powerful position. And along with that, Moon is a clear-cut Raja Yoga Karaka for this horoscope, since he owns the 9th and is present in the Lagna. And Ketu is a really powerful planet here, but since it is following Grahana Yoga in his chart, it's called Grahana Yoga. Technically, if Ketu or Rahu is conjunct with the Sun, then you call it Grahana Yoga. And here we have Ketu conjunct with the Sun with an exalted Mercury. So even if it's Moon versus Mercury or it's Moon versus Ketu, we will know the truth, which is the correct time. Because if it's Moon versus Mercury, I don't think it will be a very good time for him to gain the kingdom. But if it's Moon versus Ketu, there is a chance of gaining the kingdom, but there's also a chance of very big tensions coming up. And I'm sure Narendra Modi, if he is elected, will create a war or will fight a war or something like that. Same case with Rahul Gandhi. I don't support any of these politicians. This is just a research from my side. And one very important thing I would like to tell you all is, something strange is going to happen. It's not going to be the same. This is my comment on the election, and one cannot seriously comment on an election or gain of a kingdom, not perfectly, because if one person, if one party leader has a very powerful Raja Yoga and the other person is somewhat not that great, then you can easily say that he's going to win. But if the opponent also has something very special coming up in his chart, we can't exactly say the same thing. So that's one thing we have to research about a little more further. And I do also, I'll be happy if you comment upon whatever I've said and add your valuable comments too. So thank you. Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Shri Ram, Jai Shri Lakshmi Narasimha.